Hey everyone, welcome to the Clydesdale Fitness and Friends. My name is Scott Schweitzer. I am your host and I am the Clydesdale. We love to do fitness and these are my friends. And I have a new buddy today and his name is Walter. Oh, here we go. Can you see him?
Now tell everybody why you named him Walter.
Well, for two reasons. One is kind of my best thing from the internet. So we'll save that for the end. And then the other reason is Walter Payton is my favorite football player of all time.
Oh, okay.
So there's two reasons why he's Walter. But the other reason is why it's in the forefront of my mind.
Got it.
So
he's adorable. How's Walter doing?
He is 7 weeks old. He is loving the house. He is starting to explore more and more. You got something to say? Huh?
So
no?
Cute.
Okay. And so he's exploring the house. He's eating good. He loves to play tug of war with his new squirrel. And then he loves the yard. He loves like going around the house in circles. So
cute.
Yeah, he's doing really well.
Oh my gosh.
He gets up for a 3:30 a.m. pee, but other than that, we're doing pretty well.
Is it a pee or a piddle?
It's a pee.
So, Kat, the other day he was texting about it and he was like, Walter's doing pretty good. He only got up and piddled one time. And I was like, piddled? That's such a grandma word to say.
Well,
he's just a baby.
Piddle on the floor to give a warning, and then we take him out for the full pee.
Got it.
But he's only peed on the floor like twice, and he has never pooped inside.
Oh, good boy.
He's only pooped outside. Huh.
He's so cute.
Aww.
So, yeah. So that's my big news for the week. So
I love it. Well, we have our neighbors behind us are selling their house, and our fence goes right up into their backyard, and they are an older couple that don't spend a whole lot of time outside. But they showed the house. They must have shown the house 100 times on Saturday, and everybody was in the backyard, and my dogs were going apeshit every time. Like, they will be the reason why they either can't sell the house or the property values in the whole neighborhood go down because no one wants to buy the house. So we've been locking them inside. And I have an appointment with the fence authority to give me an estimate on a privacy fence next week. Because we know that's inevitable. I went out there and there were two young kids by the fence, like with their hands poking through the fence. And I'm thinking to myself, my one dog will bite them for sure. So I was very scared, but that's what's going on in Delaware this week.
yeah, we're going to get the right of ways to build the connectors to all of our neighbors' fences so that we can have a fenced in backyard. And the cool thing was my nephew who lives in town and has a dog brought his over Sunday and the two of them got along so well, which was awesome. So
is his name Buddy? What's his name? I forget.
His name's Buddy.
Okay, I thought so because Murph, his name as a rescue was Buddy, but we changed it. But I thought Nick's was Buddy.
Yeah, so they had a little play date on Sunday. Buddy
Awesome.
could eat Walter as a snack, but he did not. He just licked him and sniffed and kind of played with him. So that's cool.
That's very cool. Well, what else happened this weekend, guys? I did Andy.
Ooh, yeah. How'd that go?
Yeah, tell me more.
It was way harder than I expected. So I think I gave you this advice, Amy. The snatches were hard. So it's 100 hang snatches, 100 push press, 100 sumo deadlift high pulls, 100 front squats with a 45-pound bar. The hang snatches were harder than I thought. I think it took me like almost 5 minutes to finish the hang snatches. I had to break way more than I thought I would have to.
So how did you break those up?
I mean, I think I did a set of like maybe 25 and then ended up doing like another, like after that, I couldn't do more than 10 at a time. And I was really surprised that I couldn't do more than 10. So those took me a bit. The push presses were pretty easy. I remember there was a song playing. I don't know what song it was, but I could just bang those out to the rhythm of the song. I think I did maybe another 25 or 30 of those and then just knocked those out pretty quickly. The sumo deadlift high pulls were okay. They weren't as bad as I thought they were going to be. The lighter weight makes it real easy to sort of yank it up to your collarbone. So that wasn't too bad. Maybe a little bit of like your low back starts to blow up just a little bit on that. The worst part was 100% the front squats. I mean, that was all mental at that point. Like I couldn't do more than 10 at a time. And sometimes I was doing like 7 because they were just brutal. Like you think you get into like a rhythm where you're like, okay, this isn't so bad. And you get to like 7 and then like 8 is 1,000 times worse than 7 was. And you're like, I might not make 10.
And by that point though, you're also bringing cardio into it. Like it's not just about the front squat. It's more cardio. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, every time I put the bar down, I would like walk away, take a spin, look outside, come back to the bar. So, I mean, I probably, somebody who was a little more focused probably could have done it, a ton faster, but it was good. I mean, I'm glad I did it. I just, and I felt fine the day after. Monday morning, low back a little bit and just like fronts of my shoulders, obviously. We're pretty sore.
Well, one of our friends, judging friends and listener of our show, Mike Ostman, did it. I posted that on social media as well. And he had about almost the identical time as you, Kat.
Yeah.
And he said the same thing.
Yeah. My girlfriend and I, we had his time in mind when we were doing it. And we thought, well, we should be like closer to 20, I would think, like 4 minutes for everything, 4 minutes for everything should be fine. And then when we didn't finish the snatches until after 5 minutes, I was like, oh, wait, never mind. We're going to, be hard pressed to beat his time for sure.
So go after, if you attacked it again, would you break it up sooner on purpose?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I know. I mean, although it's weird because the only time you really use your legs significantly were in the front squats. And it was really my legs that felt sore. Like I was going to muscle fatigue, even though it didn't seem like it. So I don't know what else I could have done to kind of save my legs from all that. Like, how you get when you do like DT, your feet cramp up a little bit.
Yes.
I mean, you definitely got like foot cramps and things like that from it. So
yeah, that's what Mike said. The sumo deadlift high pull, he started getting foot cramps.
I started getting
were like uncontrollable
snatches.
You guys are not enticing me to do this.
So speaking of though, Amy, we talked about the bench press max.
Yeah, I didn't get it done because here's why. Nathan didn't go with me, and I wasn't going to do it by myself because it wasn't.
So tell everybody what that is.
So we were watching Buttery Bros together, like as a family, and they were doing the empty barbell bench press. And they were like, let's just see how many max reps we could get. And I was just flabbergasted by the number of reps that they were able to get. And so like Heber got like 301, Mars like 260 or something. And Julian, same thing. And then they went to their
even
gym.
Like the old guy. Yeah, the old guy at the gym.
400 and something.
Unreal.
Ripped.
Old man strong.
Like, I was just thinking, like, I feel like maybe I could get 100. Like, that would be a goal I guess I would shoot for. And so anyways, we were talking about watching that. And I told my son, I was like, let's go to open gym on Sunday and do that. And he's like, yeah, let's do it. And then I went out, or I had a little night before. And then he didn't want to
nutrition challenge partner. Let's go here.
And then he didn't want to go.
I thought you were going hard for the last week.
I did go hard in the paint. And then, so what I did do on Sunday was I did 12.3.
Remind me what that is.
Okay. I'm not going to remember all of it, but it was, there were some box jumps. There were some toes to bar, something with the barbell. I feel like, push press, 75-pound push press. I think it was like 12-9. No, there was 9 toes to bar for sure. 15, 12, 9. That's what it was. 15 box jumps, 12 push press at 75, and 9 toes to bar. But I was happy because my goal the whole time was just to do 9 unbroken toes to bar. But I think I'm glad I hadn't done it before because I would have been mad if I didn't beat my previous time. But I was, since I'd gone so hard the night before, maybe went a little bit lighter on that workout. But anyways, it was good to just to get back in the rhythm of open workouts,
Yeah. it always amazes me that people try all these open workouts like right before they open. I'm kind of like anti-open work. I'm doing it again. I used to do it all the time. I have not worked out since Saturday, and it's like
Stop doing that.
Tuesday, and I'm thinking, all right, well, now I'm screwed because I'm probably going to work out tomorrow, and then I'm going to be really sore. I can't work out Thursday. I literally have, I mean, unless I wake up at 5 a.m. and my sleep is too important. So I'm going to prioritize sleep over working out Thursday. And then I think I'm going to do the open workout Friday at 10. So I'm going to be going into it again, kind of like unconditioned.
But the thing I
well.
like about redoing them like this is like, I always think that they are the worst, scariest things right after I do them,
Mhm.
like during the open. And then when I do them later, I'm like, that was not as bad as it was in my head. Or, you know what I mean? Like, and I think it's just the adrenaline and the anticipation of the open that
And
makes it
the
so.
context of
Yeah.
you doing it. Yeah. Like Sunday open gyms way better than Friday night
Yeah.
lights or
Yes.
I actually did a fun one yesterday. It was the longest workout I've done since coming back, and it was a 20-minute AMRAP of 15 cal bike with 9 deadlifts, 7 cleans, and 5 thrusters.
Ooh.
And I did it with the sandbag, just because I just feel more comfortable with it right now. And my goal was to go unbroken on the sandbag every round. So I did use the bike as a rest.
Yeah.
I will tell you.
Did you take it like a Sunday beach cruiser? That's how I usually take it.
So by like minute 15, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt good that I was able to get through that cycling kind of unbroken every round for the 20 minutes.
I found out recently that apparently you're supposed to use your arms and your legs at the same time when you're doing that. I usually just pick one or the other.
Oh, the bike?
bike?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll either just do my arms and rest my legs or just do my legs.
Well, it's hard to breathe when you're bent over holding onto the handles. So it's much easier just to sit up and kind of go no hands for a while.
Yeah.
So
That's funny.
But yeah, I actually signed up for the open today.
Nice.
So I will be doing it with you all.
And we all got our badges situated, right?
Thank you for that. I appreciate.
Scott, is this your 11th?
My 9th.
9th. And
My
it's 8
9th.
for you and me, right, Aim?
Yeah.
8.
I thought it was 8th.
8, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So yeah,
Cool.
I'm excited. Don't know what level I'll be doing each week, but I'll do something and we'll probably have it taped and maybe show some highlights.
Yeah, that would be cool.
So
I'll
love
run
it.
out. Remember, after 3 minutes.
yeah, you will.
So while we're talking fitness, I guess we should go over our points for the week, even though we're not sure about Charlie's. Amy, what do you got?
28.
Ooh, my partner coming in clutch.
Mm-hmm.
Good job.
29.
Oh,
Hey, that's good. I got 26.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a couple 7s this week.
Woo.
Didn't have a drop of alcohol, unlike Miss Amy.
Yeah, but I worked out every day.
Yeah. I took a trip to Pennsylvania and back, which
Yeah.
wasn't the best on my back, and not sleeping in my own bed really sucked.
Mhm.
But I did the best. I took a really long walk the one night. So
Wait, so back up. You said you had a couple 7s?
I did.
Or I thought you could only have 5. Isn't 5 the max you could have every day?
Aren't there 7 days in a week?
Yeah.
I'm saying a category. I had
So for every day of
so
the week,
no
that's
drinking
7.
was a
Okay.
7 for the week.
Got it. I do them by the days. That's why I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
confused. I was
I
like, wait a minute. Are you using a different scale than we are? No wonder you got such
I'm
a
going
high.
horizontally. You're going
Yeah, I'm going
vertically.
vertical. That's funny. It's like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
7?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I got a 7 on sleep this week. My sleep has been incredible. I got 9.5 hours last night.
Dang. What kind of stuff you
Yeah.
taking?
It's nothing. I'm not taking anything. I usually take Ambien, and I stopped taking that like a month ago. I was talking to somebody and they're like, you realize that that's like the worst thing ever you could be doing to your body. And I'm like, I know, you're right. So, and strangely enough, I mean, I guess they'll never be a sponsor of ours, but when I take the Beam stuff, I
Yeah.
don't sleep well.
Mm.
I wake up at like 1:00 in the morning. and
I
then
love the beam stuff.
Do you? Yeah. I mean,
I haven't taken it, but the other commercials convinced me that I should.
yeah, it doesn't do a whole lot for me. I even tried like the essential oil stuff with the lavender and
Oh yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
I'm a tough nut when it comes to that.
Well, I
need,
definitely
like,
am all about the
serious
CBD
narcotics.
life.
Yeah.
Well, you're doing something right because you
Yeah,
sleep
I'm just it's
so-
that weighted blanket, I think. My weighted blanket just kind of like I can't move. It's been awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something about Whoop being a new partner
CrossFit.
sponsor with
Yeah.
CrossFit, and that now we can actually say we do CrossFit as an activity instead of functional fitness, which is fun.
Yeah, I've forgotten to mark CrossFit every time. I'm so in the habit
It's in the
of functional fitness, but I need to get used to that.
That's very cool.
So speaking of, I had a little situation. I don't know if I texted you guys or not, but this was really weird. So I had a really high strain. The other day I went for a run and I wasn't going to go for this long, but it was so nice. We went for like an 8-mile run. Murph and I did. And my strain was an 18.7 for my strain. Okay. For the activity. My day strain was 18.6. And I was like, I don't understand how my day could be less than this. So
yeah.
But like it just confused me. So I instant messaged them on Instagram, and I got the fastest response from them there than I have on other methods of trying to talk with them. And we went back and forth about several things. They like looked up my account and they gave me the reason for it. And then they were like, let me know what was your strain before that. And then, they checked on all this stuff for me. So that was really great.
Maybe they're stepping it up. Maybe they knew you were a CrossFitter. They put you at the front of the line.
Yeah, I think they knew I was a co-host of this podcast.
For sure.
Yeah.
I actually got Braden a Whoop.
I saw that.
So he's on now. He apparently really is concerned about his sleep. And I guess he's curious about his strain. So I got him an 18-month subscription. I paid of course I got it 3 days before Whoop announces their partnership with CrossFit and you get $30 off your subscription. Because I have to pay full price for everything.
Yep.
But he's been having fun with it and he's getting like really good sleep. And they had a inter-squad game today. He faced 12 batters and he struck out 11.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
He sent me a text. He's like, I totally dealt. It's like, sweet.
Well, speaking of performance, we need to thank our sponsor, RX Smart Gear.
Oh, there you go.
Because their jump ropes, they're the best performing jump rope in the business. And right now you can use our code Clydesdale15, all caps, get 15% off at checkout. But I'm going to tell you this right now, they're running a sale on the Open and you can get 21% off.
Yeah.
So Open 21, I believe is the code, get 21% off your RX Smart Gear jump rope. Our 15% is actually really good for most of the year, but right now they're just running a ridiculous sale for the Open. So, and we're not going to cheat you out of 6%. So use Open 21, get 21% off your RX Smart Gear jump rope and get ready for the Open and get those double unders down.
Yes. And subscribe to our
YouTube channel
to get a
where
free
you
jump
could,
rope.
yeah, you could have, if you have a public YouTube account and you subscribe to our channel, you have a chance at winning an RX Smart Gear jump rope.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
So
I was actually I actually pulled out Dave's name this week because Natalie for hybrid schooling is taking a ceramics class and she actually brought home a pottery wheel and she's like down in the basement. She's all hunched over and she's trying to do it. And she has scoliosis. And so she kept talking about how it was hurting her back. And I was like, I happen to maybe know somebody who knows somebody that we could talk to about how to use your pottery wheel if you need me to reach out. So,
yeah. Well, I don't know if you guys saw the big news that came in overnight.
I did.
But Jacob Heppner hanging up the Metcons, hanging up the Metcons because he is a Nike athlete. And I'm really happy for him. We had him on this podcast and in his announcement, he said in every podcast he's done over the last year and a half, he has mentioned that this was kind of coming, that he needed to focus time and energy into other things. And he really puts a value on his time. And if if what you're bringing does not bring monetary value, he is cutting it out.
Yeah.
And he has some businesses he said he's been ignoring too much, and he really needs to focus on that. And he wants to try some other sports. So good on Jacob. I'm really happy for him. He was, Amy and I interviewed him back pre-COVID when we could actually be in the same room together during the interview.
You're not remembering it correctly, but okay.
We weren't in the same room?
No, because I remember I was hiding in my closet here because it was loud here. Like there was people here. And so I was in my closet and I remember being in there. And COVID had just started because I think we had just talked about his 30th birthday and how they threw a party for him. And it was like right before everything shut down.
That's correct. You are right.
Thank you.
I am wrong.
Okay.
Well, I just hope he continues doing product reviews, because those were like my favorite parts of his YouTube channel was that. But you're right, he's got a lot going on. And, just like Matt Fraser says, you have to spend a lot of time in the sport to be good at it. And if you're, if it's not worth your while and you're not having fun anymore and there's other things that you want to pursue, like you gotta go do that.
Yeah.
So I'll be excited to see what's on the horizon for him.
And he put out the call to HQ that he would love to be an analyst.
He is so smart.
For the games, and to give him a call. So that was cool.
Another athlete retired too, Christian Lucero. So maybe lesser known athlete, but he's been to the games a bunch of times.
Charlie's going to be really disappointed.
Is it an official retirement? I did see he wasn't doing the Open.
Well, he wasn't doing the Open. He said he's got some announcements coming. So I would assume, I sort of took that leap and assumed that it meant he wasn't going to be doing competitive CrossFit anymore. So it'll be interesting to see sort of what else comes out with Christian as well.
Yeah, it'll be a shame not to see the appeal photos of his wall balls this year.
Right. Oh, poor guy. He also got a few gifts in the 2016 games on the ring handstand push-up thing. I was right there watching it, and there were some bro reps given with him and a couple other athletes that were making everybody crazy.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the Open and all of that, we're going to have a big show this Thursday night. We're bringing back Clydesdale After Dark, and we're bringing in another Clydesdale to do analysis and give tips and tricks. And that Clydesdale is Dex Hopkins. So he's going to bring the funny. He's going to bring the humor. And he says he bought a brand new whiteboard to do the analysis of the Open announcements. And he bought a microphone. So he's super, super stoked to do this. I had a phone conversation with him yesterday. We talked for an hour. He's just really pumped up about this, and I'm really excited to have him on. This is going to be a lot shorter than our normal podcast. It'll probably only be 20 minutes to 30 minutes long, but we're going to go live 10 minutes.
But Dex is on it.
I know. Yeah, it could go.
Yeah. True. So we're going to start recording 10 minutes prior to the announcement. We're going to do a screen share of the announcement so you can kind of see what it is. And then we'll do an immediate reaction, and then we'll turn it over to Dex to do some analysis and then some final thoughts, and then we'll be out. But we're going to do Open coverage this year, which is a first for the podcast.
So are we going to watch the face-off or no?
So we're probably not.
Okay. So did you guys hear who's doing the face-off?
We did not.
The first one? It is Miss Carrie Pierce and Christy Aramo O'Connell head to head.
They did 17.2 together.
Thursday night, 21.1. So we may want to rethink if we're going to watch or not, depending on what the workout is and how long it is. But yeah, that's going to be an exciting matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it gets a little complicated because I have to unplug my mic for the screen share so that everybody can hear what's going on the video.
Got it.
And then as soon as it's done, I got to plug my mic back in, unscreen share, but we'll figure it out. It won't be super smooth, but we'll do our best.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's cool. That
Yeah.
explains a couple things to me for this week, but okay.
That was late breaking. I found that out a couple hours ago as I was sitting on YouTube listening to some things. The other thing I heard is, well, the other piece of news that we haven't talked about is that, did we talk about the MAC being in Knoxville, Tennessee?
We did
No.
not.
Okay, so it's one of the first semifinals that I know of that has like officially announced a date too. It's going to be Memorial Day weekend. It's going to be in Knoxville. It's normally in DC, so I guess they're moving to a location that has a better chance of pulling something off in person, based on the geography. So be curious to see, how that one works. Unfortunately, Memorial Day weekend's a terrible weekend for me with baseball. Like if my son's team gets to the finals, that will be the weekend, and we won't know until a week before whether that's happening or not. So it's going to make it really hard for me to figure out if I can go or if I could judge or do whatever. So stinks because I was looking forward to that one.
Yeah, I think that's one I'll try to get to,
Mm-hmm.
and see if I can get some media credentials and
Yeah, for
see
sure.
what happens. But yeah, that's not a bad drive for us.
Mm-hmm.
Nashville's a little shorter, but if you watched Matt Sevon and Josh today, Matt said like Tennessee's pretty wide open.
Yeah.
Like he
That's
goes
good.
to Walmart and it's a 50-50 shot of masks.
It's crazy.
Just a
Crazy.
different atmosphere there.
Yeah. So the other thing about the semis that we heard in the news a little bit is Tia and Shane talking about the fact that, they're using this rule of you need to return to the place of your birth certificate or your passport to go and compete in a semifinals. And so Tia and Shane were talking about how complicated that could be for them. And for other athletes that are living in the US, but have to go back to, say, Australia, or Sam Briggs having to go back to the UK. Emma, the Emma person from CrossFit. Yeah, Emma Chapman having to go back to, her place of birth, and the quarantining and the expense and all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be interesting. But Bosman had a Zoom call with all the athletes and explained that if for some reason athletes could not get to their assigned semifinals due to COVID, which these would be COVID reasons, that they can go to the last chance qualifier instead of a semifinal. So that puts a whole new spin on things where that last chance qualifier could be stacked with athletes. And in such a case where they're only taking 2, not 5 or 3, I just think it's going to cause like a big old mess that they're going to have to sort of figure something out. And unless the whole thing gets canceled, like if the Torium Pro gets canceled because of COVID, then Tia's fine. I mean, and she could sort of hedge her bets and like cross her fingers and hope that it just gets canceled and stay in the US and not plan to go there. And if it gets canceled, she's fine. They'll do the online version of it, and the online version, you can be anywhere to do it. But it's a little bit of a guessing game.
Yeah, I think it's too big of a risk to bank on the last chance. Only 2 spots online. Anything can happen in an online competition.
And it's only like 3 weeks before the games.
Right.
Ugh.
So it's going to cost her $4,000 in hotel costs just to quarantine in Australia. But hopefully she gets a sponsor or something to pick up that tab for her.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And then once she does the semifinals, she doesn't have to do that coming back to the US. And then Matt said that if she stays in her house, like chooses to stay in her house instead of the hotel, she has to pay Australia $250,000.
Yeah, to quarantine your house. I'm not sure why. I don't know what is involved with those expenses, but yeah, it sucks. And she will absolutely get a sponsor to pay for that. But like someone like Emma Chapman, what is Ben going to pay for that?
I would say no.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe she goes to the last chance.
He's like, I'm your coach. You pay me.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just going to be interesting to see, you know, if that last chance gets really jammed up, or if some of these just end up getting canceled and an
Well-
online version of it ensues.
And is Emma Chapman, is she Irish or is she?
I thought she was Australian,
Okay.
but I don't know for sure. Don't
Yeah,
quote me on
Australia
that.
seems to be the big bugaboo. The other, like Katrin going back to Iceland, is not going to be a big deal.
If they need judges, I can go judge.
Yeah,
You gonna pay the $4,000 to quarantine beforehand though?
I
Like
mean,
that's crazy.
because I've never been paid for my hotel for judging other than one time.
Not $4,000.
Maybe I'm gonna move.
Yeah. So did you guys see that Dani Speegle is heading to Cali?
No,
Yeah, Invictus.
but that makes
Yeah.
sense.
She
I-
joined the Invictus team. She's
San
going to live in
Diego.
San Diego. So pretty crazy.
That's cool.
Expensive.
Good for her. Did you also see that the media team hired a new sportscaster, Derek Forrest, who works for, I think, an ABC affiliate now, CBS
Okay.
affiliate, one of those, an ABC, CBS, NBC affiliate. I think he's in Ohio. Is he in Ohio?
I'd never heard of him before.
I'm sorry, I'm screwing this up. I should have had more information. But anyway, yeah, new guy.
Yeah.
He's a CrossFitter. It'll be interesting to see how well received he is, because we CrossFit fans can be jerks sometimes with new people. we'll see. But good
Yeah.
for him.
I wonder what that's going to mean. Like, what role is he going to take? Because Sean Woodland has taken even a bigger role with CrossFit probably now than he did before the purge.
Mhm.
With that weekly show they're doing now, and you know he's
Well,
been.
and they've put out 26. The CrossFit Games have put out 26 videos in the last 3 days. Now, majority of them are stage 2 workouts from some of the athletes that we hadn't seen in the past. But they're just pumping out content. So I'd imagine they'll have, you know, something for him to do. And I don't know if, you know, you figure all of these semifinal events are going to have some kind of broadcast to them, as well as
True.
any online events that they have. So they probably just need some more bodies, and, you know, they're just filling up the ranks with people. So that was cool. I was glad that they sort of took their time to introduce him and all, because, you know, if he just showed up one day, we'd be like, who's this guy?
Yeah.
So can we talk about, speaking of things on the internet from CrossFit, can we talk about, or do we want to wait until Thursday about Dave Castro's clue?
Oh no. Yeah, we could totally talk about it.
What do you
Did you see
think?
it?
Yeah.
It's like a decomposing wolf's head or something.
Inverted. Yeah, upside down.
Inverted.
I'm trying
They're
to.
not gonna do handstand push-ups week 1. I don't think.
Wah,
Yeah.
wah.
Coffee Pods and Wads had this whole analysis of it,
They did.
where he was like, you know, it's an inverted head, so handstand push-ups. The animal's dead, so it's deadlifts. It has 9 teeth, so it'll be a 9-minute AMRAP.
Oh,
Like
geez.
all this stuff. And then his last line was, and if you think I'm full of shit, comment below.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's never explained any of them, has he?
No. And none of them have really made
Ever
a lot
made
of
sense.
sense.
Yeah. But I bet they do in his head.
Perhaps.
It's
wonder.
always an obscure reference that,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so I have no clue, actually. No idea.
But did you see, they did add wall space to
Yep.
the equipment list for the open.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So handstands are coming.
Yeah.
I
Handstand
hope.
push-ups will be a thing, but I mean, gosh, unless they're gonna do like, you know, wall sits or something. Who knows?
Yeah. Foundations.
Right. Yeah.
Mm.
It should be interesting. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Cannot wait.
Yeah. The only other thing I have in my notes, just kind of what's been going on. Well, actually, a couple things is the seating preference was announced in Bosman's meeting with the athletes, that initial ranking for the semis will be by athlete choice, but the second wave is CrossFit's determination. So that if like 30 athletes go to the MAC, but 50 make that their preference, CrossFit has the ability to move you to another semifinal.
Yeah, I think they were going by like, you have to give like your top 4 in order,
Okay.
and they're gonna figure it out. And I don't think they're gonna make sure that, the top 10 or 15 aren't all at the same location.
Right.
That's how that's gonna work.
Sounds
So
like so
there's-
many logistics.
I know, right?
Yeah, it makes sense. And then the other thing I had is, did you see that Sam Briggs signed with Tupood?
Oh no, I didn't see that. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So even at a master's age as an open athlete, she's still getting new sponsors. So
It's crazy.
it's pretty cool.
Very cool.
And the last
Right.
thing I had just as topics was Ben Smith. Dude is getting strong. My gosh, that knee must be healthy again. So
Yeah,
it's going to be
Doing
interesting.
Squatting a ton.
Squatting a ton, cleaning a ton.
Mhm.
Like he's just hitting it all, and he looks really good.
Mhm.
Ben's always been strong. It's going to be like how he does on the other stuff. But it's going to be interesting because like with Matt gone and Heppner gone, you have like Panchek and Smith, kind of the old wily veterans going after it. So it's going to be a fun year, I think.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
So do we want to get to our silly questions?
Sure.
So big announcement, Silly Questions now has a sponsor,
Mhm.
and that sponsor is Up Before You Coffee.
I drink it every morning, to tell you the truth. That's what I'm thinking.
It's good.
It is good. We have a discount code for 20% off any order at upbeforeyou.com. You can go under, they have a light roast and a medium roast. Just use Clydesdale 20, all caps, kind of keeping a theme there. Clydesdale 20, all caps, 20% off your order. It's delicious. It's really smooth too. Like
Mhm.
it's a nice wake up, grab a cup of coffee in the morning. So check them out. And I think, Kat, you were on his podcast, right? Were you?
Yeah.
I think you and I
So were you,
both,
right?
yeah, you and I were both on his podcast.
Yeah. Connor.
Yeah. So check that out too. We love Connor. He's a really good dude. Does some crazy stuff. So he's a great follow on Instagram.
Yeah.
Like he did, didn't he do like 24 hero wads in 24 hours or?
Yeah, and he rode like 1,000,000 miles in 30
Yeah.
hours, and he's doing a lot with mindset now, like some of this gritty stuff that's quite interesting. And he shares books, and yeah, he's a fun follow and a
He
good
is.
podcast too.
Yep. So check that out. And so we'll get into our silly questions. And the first one we kind of talked about last week. And it is, if you were on Survivor, Amazing Race, and Big Brother, which one of the crew would you pick for each reality show to be your alliance? I'm going to go with Amy first.
Okay. Amazing Race. I'm going Cat. I think that would be fun. I think we would complement each other with our skills and brains and do well on that. And then I said Survivor for Charlie, because I might need some of his strict strongman strength there to help me survive on that island. And Scott, I said you for Big Brother, because you kind of like my big brother, but I think we could actually I think we would get along in a small space for a period of time.
Okay. Kat?
I like it. So, of course, in typical Amy Cat fashion, my picks are identical. I almost blew it last week when we were talking about it, because I said I would pick Amy for Amazing Race based on how you describe Amy as a teammate, and that she's sort of very tenacious and, in your face. And I thought, well, we can't lose if we're together on Amazing Race. Yeah. And Charlie for Survivor, to me, I just bet you he's got some really cool survival tactics that he hasn't even shared with us yet, or he may not even know he has.
It's his mobility is really what it is.
Definitely not. But I would think he would be good. And Scott for sure, Big Brother. Like that's like rom-com central, like, and you're the expert when it comes to that. So yeah, you're my boy
Drama for your
that
mama.
all day long.
All right. So mine are different because
Okay.
I just am different. So Kat is Amazing Race because
Yeah.
she's a traveler. We've already traveled together. We get along. That would be great. And I have some competitive fire too when I'm in really good shape. So, and I'm almost there.
Would be
I'm
good,
almost
yeah.
there. Survivor would be Amy because she loves to be outside. She would do really good at those types of challenges with a lot of cardio and running. And so I would need her to win the immunity to protect me a lot. And then if the big brother is Charlie, because who better to work out with and do the push-ups and the air squats in the yard than Charlie? Like I would be jacked at the end of Big Brother working out with Charlie.
He would too. I mean, because he would be doing it. Yeah.
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 Oh, that's a good one.
And then I could swim laps in the pool, that little like 4 foot long pool.
Right.
That was fun.
Yeah.
So
We'll have to get Charlie's answers.
So yeah, that was fun thinking up like how it was going to be, but yeah, Amazing Race with Amy would just be horrible.
For you.
I mean, I love Amy to death, but 30 days straight of her shoving me, you are going to bungee jump. No.
Quit talking about it. Just do it.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. Oh, and then, our second, I'm laughing and I'm turning red. So anyway, the second question is, who do you got to win the Open on the men's and women's side? Kat first this time.
Okay. Chandler Smith on the guy's side. And Tia. Easy.
Tia's never won the Open, has she?
It's all right. It's going to happen.
Okay.
I'm saying Sam Briggs. I just think, because I think the Open's going to be different this year, and I think it could favor her and her abilities. And Noah Olsen is who I picked.
Nice.
For the guys.
That was Noah Olsen.
That was hard for me. I want you to know that I did it. Somebody at the gym described Noah Olsen to me in a way that I am viewing things differently. He says, you just have to imagine that Noah Olsen is like a big golden retriever.
It's true.
And I was like, he is. I mean, he is a happy, lovely person. So there you go. I just don't like what he does with his hair, but that's just me.
So my female pick is not a big shock. It is Sarah.
Yep.
Sarah wins the Open every year with bad coaching. So now that she has good coaching, or just coaching, period.
Coaching.
How can it not work, right? So I pick her to win the Open on the women's side. And my male winner is Jeffrey Adler.
Oh, good pick.
He
Solid.
is an Open phenom, who I think he finished third last year. And so I just, he has the body type and the cardio and all that to kill the Open. So he's my pick.
That's a good point. I didn't apply the same methods to the male team that I did for the female.
Yeah,
So
we'll
yeah,
might all be wrong. So that's the other fun part
That's
is
true.
to see.
It'll be
What
fun
happens.
to kind of check back at the end and see how bad we were.
Exactly.
So next week we are releasing a new episode with pretty big name, and not just in the CrossFit space, but in life. And she was a CrossFit OG, started CrossFit in 2006, and has since grown a business out of fitnessing fast. And that person is Christmas Abbott.
Cool.
She was my first follow on Instagram when I started CrossFit back in 2011, because she was like the biggest
right.
name in the sport. And I learned a lot of the movements by watching her Instagram. And so that was pretty cool to kind of get down and talk to her. And I actually admitted that to her. And her life story should be a movie. And I'm really excited for this to come out because there was stuff when I researched that I didn't know she went through in her life. And it's pretty amazing. And I don't want to spoil any of it. I also bought her book. I've been reading The Badass Life. It's pretty good. And just daily affirmations in the book. It's 30 days of kind of mindset and daily affirmations. And it's really good. So pump her book a little bit and she'll be on Monday.
Awesome.
And really excited about that.
Just you and her, right? Just the two of you?
Charlie was on.
Oh, Charlie was on too. Okay. I was bummed to miss that one.
Yeah, Charlie was on and asked some questions. So
Charlie makes an appearance. I love it.
Yeah, it was good.
Very cool.
So with that, best thing from the internet.
Yeah.
And I'll go first. I'll go first this time. So I know I am like 70 years late to the party. But I just finished Breaking Bad yesterday. 5 seasons in about 2.5 weeks. And what a crazy show. Every episode it would end and I'd have to start another one because I couldn't believe what was going on.
It's so easy to binge, isn't it? Because you just can't like wait for the next one. You're like,
I really
"Oh,
do
what?"
think it's one of the best written TV shows I've ever seen.
Yeah.
What I told Julie was amazing was that things happen in season 5 that were set up by the writing in season 2. Like they knew they had to put this here and that there to get it to equal this.
Yeah.
Good gravy.
That's what I mean. It's fascinating.
And I am all but a half hour done with El Camino, which actually, if you have not seen it, it takes place the minute Breaking Bad ends, but it's from Jesse Pinkman's perspective, moving forward from when he jumps into El Camino, breaks through the fence, and that's where it picks up.
Isn't that show so fascinating? Because I know this is not a show about that, but it's so fascinating that it makes you though like understand and like the characters, and at the same time be like so mad and frustrated, like just the emotional turmoil with the characters. I thought was fascinating.
Yeah.
You want to like Walter, which is one of the reasons I'd named my puppy Walter. But he's the devil.
Right.
Like he is the devil, but you want to like him. It's the most bizarre thing.
Dichotomy of characters.
And when the shootout happens in the desert, because it's been out for 10 years. I shouldn't be worried about spoilers. But when Hank dies, like I was emotionally distraught.
That's okay. When you came over here to bring me the coffee, that's where I was trying to find out if you'd found out yet.
I had not been there yet.
Yeah. That's why I was like, okay, dropping it.
I was distraught.
I really was too. That shocked me.
Oh,
Isn't there another spinoff too with the lawyer?
Don't
Better
call
Call
Sal
Saul.
or Better Call Saul. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is my least favorite character in
Same.
Breaking Bad. So I'm like, will I like it? But then I saw Mike's on it, and Mike was one of my favorite characters in Breaking Bad. So maybe I'll check it out just to see if it's decent. But El Camino's been really good if you haven't seen it.
Yeah. Eliana just finished Shameless, and I told her she should try Breaking Bad because she would like that too, I think.
I have not watched Shameless, but my kids have, and I've heard that I should probably not have let that happen.
Right.
Yeah, I've heard Shameless is great.
Yeah.
I have not seen it yet.
Very good.
So you guys decide who goes next.
I have 2.
Sweet.
What?
I know.
2? Oh,
Because I was remembering one of them. Actually, I had one and then I thought of another one. So I'm going to share both because one's quick. Number one is watching Emma Carey doing a snatch of 190 pounds at 16 years old. And her goal is 200 by the age of 17.
yeah, she hit 195 last night.
Oh, I thought it was 190. I'm sorry, my bad.
She hit 190 a couple days ago and 195 last night.
Oh, okay. Okay. So that's amazing to me. But then the other one is, did you guys see, I had a couple of friends post about this, but did you guys see the David Goggins challenge that went on this weekend?
Mm-mm.
So it was run 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours.
What?
So in 2 days, you run 48 miles.
My ears can't even hear what you just said. What?
Right. That doesn't compute whatsoever.
4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours. And I had a couple of friends complete that. I kind of want to do it, but I like to sleep.
Well, just to rewind a little bit, I did talk to Emma today.
Mhm.
Emma is going to be on the show. We don't usually say this well in advance, but I talked to her about coming on right after the Open to kind of give us her impressions of the Open now that she is ditching the teen division and going into the Open division. And she has agreed to come on. So we'll have that right after the Open.
Cool.
Little plug and promo.
Very cool. So speaking of heavy snatches, I have there's a local guy here who I don't follow, but I follow some of his friends, and they reposted. He did a 360-pound snatch balance, like really well, smooth, perfect, crazy. I'll try to find it to show you guys, but like insane. He's a police officer actually, and he's probably 28 or 29. He was on a regional team 5 or 6 years ago, well, 3 or 4 years ago, maybe on a regional team. So he's, you know, a high level athlete, but not doing a whole lot now with CrossFit, but he can lift a ton. But that's like my half thing. My other thing was, of course, I listened to Sivan, Josh, and Matt today. And I learned something about Matt that was interesting. He and being a judge, you know, for some of these events, it stuck with me. He said in 2013 that he was in 5th place, and this was back in super regionals or before super regionals, so they only took the top 3. So he didn't make it, but he said something about the fact that he might have made it, but one of the judges messed up his score in his favor. And he caught it like the next day when he was going in and like looking at the leaderboard, and he like got the attention of the judge and was trying to say something about the scoring. And she quickly was like, judge's scoring's final, you know, no, you know, you can't, whatever. And he's like, no. Like you got it wrong, you know, in my favor. And they actually went back and changed his score such that he ended up in 5th place.
Wow.
Instead of whatever place he might have been in had they not done that.
And what was kind of funny is he said, I'm glad I didn't make it. I
Yeah,
was not ready
right.
for the games.
Yeah, no, he said like his engine was terrible and that, you know, he was strong. He was dominant in all the weightlifting stuff, but everything else, you know, he had to work on. And plus you wouldn't have wanted, if he had known that and not said anything, like you wouldn't have, that would have soured the whole experience for him to go. And it confirmed 2 other things with Matt. He is most likely going to be on a Joe Rogan episode coming
I
up,
believe that for sure.
which is super cool.
It was posted by a CrossFit news outlet later, like just before we came on air.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
So they probably heard.
I bet he won't be smoking pot with him though.
Probably not. And surprisingly, well, maybe not surprisingly, he is not doing the Open. 100% not doing it. Which kind of makes me a little sad because I would have loved for him to be retired and still like win it just for fun.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not signing up. He's really a little bitter. Seems he's a little bitter about the institution of CrossFit, you know, the sport.
It does seem that way, doesn't it?
Dave side of things. So we'll see. And I can't blame him because from some of the stories that he's told thus far, they've treated him like garbage. So
I have a different take on today's Sivan Josh podcast. And I think Josh had way too much coffee.
He was very
because
animated.
He was bug-eyed and he was ripping on everyone.
Yeah, it was fun.
And it was so fun. I was laughing so hard. When he was ripping on Dave for the ruck runs and not putting in the weight that he should have put in when they were actually in the seals.
Yep.
Hilarious. But yeah, they all had me laughing today. It was so good. That
And
is
it doesn't
always
usually come out on a
priceless.
Tuesday. It's usually a
No.
Wednesday. So this is the first time like we've gotten to talk about it fresh off.
Mm.
And I'm always nervous. Like I'll see it and I'm like, do I have 90 minutes to watch this? Because I have other things to do during the day. But I managed to sneak it in between some sessions.
Oh, and what I love is Josh is just like us, right? Matt's talking about he got the Chipotle card
Yeah,
because
right.
because he's a sponsored
Yes.
athlete of Chipotle. And he said, O'Keefe came to me and said, do you want to work with Chipotle? And he goes, yeah, they're the best.
Yep.
That's all I eat. And so they gave him this burrito card where he doesn't ever pay. He gets one transaction a day for like ever.
Yeah.
And Josh is like, that is the coolest. When I was at Invictus, a couple of the Invictus athletes got sponsored by a burger place in San Diego. And he
Yeah.
goes, I go to that place 4 days a week. I would have loved to get like a burger. And so I just love how like human they are, because
Yeah.
that'd be something that we would just be stoked about.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I mean, we were
Love it.
stoked when RX gave us all replacement cables for our jump ropes. And
Yeah. A t-shirt. I got
Yeah.
a t-shirt.
Yeah.
so
Cool.
to get burritos for life would be pretty amazing.
It'll be pretty bad for me actually, but
Yeah. Yeah. Chipotle is way too close to my house. But
that's fun.
did you see they have cauliflower rice now?
Yep. Yeah, they've had it. And you know who just added cauliflower rice? Bibi Bop.
Oh, no way.
Yes, way.
I love Bibi Bop.
Me too.
Maybe we
Let's
need to
get
call
sponsored by Bibi
Yeah.
Bop.
There we go. Get a Bibi Bop card.
Yeah.
Do you even know what Bibi Bop is, Kat?
No.
So it is an Asian Chipotle.
Oh, okay.
It tastes, I will say though, like it tastes lighter to me.
Right. Oh,
Do they do
it's
like
all
poke bowls or
no.
oh it's Chinese, not
It's
Japanese.
it's very much like a rice
You get
based
rice and then you get like
You get-
beef or like hibachi.
Korean, maybe more Korean.
I get sweet potato and rice noodles with mine.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah, they have a lot of healthy options.
It's really
Mhm.
good.
Daikon radishes that are like soaked.
I need to open up one in Delaware.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, it's so freaking good. It's my favorite fast food.
And
period.
price wise, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. No,
Yeah.
we don't. The Chipotle near me is not super close by, and there's something called El Diablo,
Mm.
which is just like Chipotle that's closer. So that's where we go.
Yeah. Yeah. We need to talk to somebody at Bibi Bop and see if we can get a sponsor.
Okay.
All
Bibi
right.
Bop.
That's you guys need to take me there when I get out there.
Yes.
Sure.
Let's do it.
All right. So that's our show.
This was fun.
Big thanks for RX Smart Gear again. We're trying to get to that 1,000 subscribers. We got a long road to go, so we got a lot of jump ropes to give away. So just subscribe to the channel. Make sure your account is public. Use Clydesdale 15 most of the time with RX Smart Gear to get 15% off your rope, but use Open 21 to get 21% off until the Open starts. So RX Smart Gear, awesome. With that, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. Hit that bell so you're notified whenever anything comes out. And we will see you next time on the Clydesdale Fitness and Friends.
Bye.
See ya.
Whoa.